world continues to say goodbye to Pope Francis.
Yeah, we're joined now by an expert on church-state relations at Seton Hall, Dr. Joe Formicola. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
What were some moments that stuck out to you during this funeral?
I think the fact that there were so many people there and so many different kinds of people there. This was a pope who had the most unbelievable ability to identify with all different kinds of people. He was not just a religious leader, but he was very human himself, very humane himself, even what theologians would call prophetic himself, for the fact that he was able to take principles such as justice and be able to take them to a higher level, to talk about justice in terms of mercy, or to talk about life in terms of all of the poor or the disabled or those who were dying or those who had been divorced or those who were gay. He saw that all life for all kinds of people was precious. And he did this not just in a theological way or a political way as head of the Vatican state as well, but he did it through his writings, through his speeches, through his travels, through his own personal example, so that people were able to identify with him on very different levels, and because of that had such great respect and love for him, and will definitely mourn his passing. I am a church-state specialist, and so I look at him from the perspective of how did he bring his religious beliefs and his political actions together. And clearly, I mean, his outreach to Africa, his outreach to China, his recognition of the fact that there was so much more that needed to be done in Europe and the United States to bring religion back to the people. He wasn't afraid to bring others in or to castigate those who were not practicing what they should have been practicing.
And this morning it was striking to hear during Cardinal Ray's homily at the Pope's funeral mass, at various points when he recounted Francis's emphasis on those very issues that you talked about, those in attendance applauded, which is not something, as was noted, that you often hear during a homily, particularly at the funeral of a pope. But with all of that in mind, tell us about what takes place next here for the Vatican, for the Catholic Church.
It's very hard to say as an outsider. As an insider, it's going to be very political as well as religious. I mean, what we do know is that the papacy is 2,000 years old. And within any institution that's 2,000 years old, you're going to have various groups who want to carry on tradition, those who want to make change. You're going to have many different views as to the way the church should be going. You have groups of people who have worked together in their own countries or in their own continents who see different needs of people, what kind of agendas should occur, much just like you see in the political process. So it's going to be religious, but it's also going to be political in deciding which way the church is going to place its emphasis in the future.
And with that in mind, how might the Pope's legacy perhaps shape who is chosen next?
Well, he has managed in his own way to appoint a number of cardinals to the agency that's going to be picking the new Pope. And many of them have been progressive and have been followers of his ideas. And this is going to play, I'm sure, very significantly into the final disposition of who's going to be chosen.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor, for joining us this morning. We appreciate your time.
You're welcome.